I'll bet you any money that you didn't know this. We're going into part 3, episode 3 of Come Out of Her, My People. Let's take a deep dive.
A friend of mine who used to be a Knight Templar, so that's about the second highest level that you can reach in most of the Western world. And he told me that he learned that he had to break 5 of the 10 commandments in order to reach that degree. Numbers 1, 2, 3, 6, and 9. So if you're going to go and do that, you're actually going to end up with God as your enemy.
Okay, so they had him breaking commandments 1, 2, 3, 6, and 9. Yeah. Let's go check out some of them. You are to worship no other Elohim besides me. Christianity don't even do that. They have so much gods worshiping in space of Yahuwah. You do not make for yourself a carved image or the likeness of anything that is in the heavens or that is on the earth or that is in the waters. Okay, we need not go any further because even religion is guilty of breaking a lot of these. And these are just the first 2. So we in trouble.
Some people say, oh, well, it's a bit like Rotary or the Lions Club or whatever. Well, both of those groups were started by Freemasons. And the Scouts, yes, Baden-Powell was a very prominent Freemason. You can tell that from his tombstone, but you won't know it if you don't know what the symbol is with the point within a circle, which is on his tombstone along with the Scouting one. The New Zealand Parliament is set up like a Masonic lodge, the debating chamber. Totally the same. The beehive is a Masonic symbol, and it's also the symbol of Utah. The founder of the Jehovah's Witnesses has a Knights Templar pyramid over his tomb. It tells us exactly what they've got, complete with the logo on it and so on. So this is, if you know what you're looking for, you can see them in a lot of places. The phallic symbol for war memorials, those are Masonic obelisks. The Washington Monument is one of the biggest in the world. The one in the courtyard of St. Peter's in Rome is one of those. So, you know, we see these symbols, we don't recognize the spiritual implication of what it means.
He's quite right. When you are informed about what these images look like, you begin to notice that they are everywhere. They are in front of religious buildings, they're inside religious buildings, they are at your schools, they are on the compounds of your workplaces, compounds of government organizations, and you go around clueless, don't know what they are, if you were not exposed to teachings about what those are, right? A lot of you have sundials, you have pagan stuff outside of your workplace. If you only did some research, you would know that these things are pagan. But you walk past them every day, don't even know that's a pagan thing because you lack knowledge, right? And it goes back to what he says. If you don't know this stuff, you won't know what you're looking at. You just walk right past it.
That group, the Grand Orient Lodges, are pantheistic. They don't know what they worship, but they know they worship something. Whereas the British and American Grand Lodges would regard themselves as worshippers of God, but any God will do.
Which confirms what the guy in the first episode said, that they didn't ask him what God he believed in. They only asked him if he believed in God. They didn't ask him if his God had horns. And he said at that time when he was initiated, he was a Satanist. So it goes to show you that not because you say you believe in God, don't mean it's the same God. because that's a pagan term. And you cannot use a pagan term to describe Yahuwah, right? You leave that pagan title to all them false gods and them idols, right? You don't classify Yahuwah as God.
In the very first degree, one of the things they do when they bring the man in to go through the ritual to begin with, they put a blindfold on, a hoodwink. And so spiritually, he's regarded as blind, and the lodge is the source of light. So that's why they're Luciferians, because Lucifer is the light bringer, and that's the connection that they often make. I would say they would just simply sold out to Satan, but they don't recognize Satan. They think Satan's the bad guy and Lucifer's the good guy. And they think Jesus, at the highest levels, they'll admit that Lucifer and Jesus are really the same being, two sides of the same being. But that's what they believe. That's what they teach once you get past the 30th degree.
Okay, hear me out. And this is just a hypothesis. What if one of their secrets that they tell their wannabe people that want to be enlightened, that they tell them this because they know that their secret is that they know that the name of Yahuwah was removed from the scriptures. They removed the name of the Savior from the scriptures and replaced it with a false name. They know what the Greeks did, they know what happened. And so they tell this in a way where they say, okay, or would I say that they're confessing that Jesus and Lucifer is the two sides of the same coins, because they know that they removed the name of the Savior, replaced it with a different name, and have people worshiping a new name instead of the name that was always called on by our ancestors. So when you give these people this new name, and then you have in your little community, you are telling these people, oh, Lucifer and Jesus is the two sides of the same coin, and now it's gonna make me wonder, oh, hold up, so you know the name was removed, and you are telling the story that Lucifer and Jesus is the same. So are you telling me that you're admitting that your ancestors removed the name of the Savior, gave people a new one, and then you are running around telling people exactly what you did, but not not forthcomingly? Is that a word? Anyways, as I said, it's a hypothesis because some don't seem right. It couldn't be that they don't call on the name Jesus because of Christianity. I hypothesize that they know that name was changed for a reason.